Welcome to this week's Waves of Information. We want to start off by saying Happy Thanksgiving, Galveston. We hope you get to enjoy this holiday with your family and friends and enjoy this beautiful weather. We are here today with the City Fire Marshal, Assistant Chief Gilbert Robinson, and he has a few tips for our chefs here on the island. Gilbert, I have a love for fried turkey. Fried turkey is one of my favorite things, but we've all seen the videos where it can go terribly wrong really quick. What are some good safety tips that you have for people who want to fry a turkey this Thanksgiving, here in Galveston especially?
First of all, we need to make sure we have proper clearance from any potential fires from occurring. We need to be 10 feet from any type of combustibles.
And that includes wood, right?
That includes wood.
So decks, balconies.
Decks and balconies should be prohibited from cooking fried turkeys.
Perfect. And I know there's a lot of, they say to have one of these handy, correct?
Correct.
And why is that? What happens when you fry a turkey that can create such a danger?
Well, 9 times out of 10, sometimes people have a tendency to get careless, and when they actually dunk the turkey inside of a deep fryer, sometimes the grease might spill over the top of the cooking pan, and therefore the hot grease can actually spill over to the fire itself and start a big fire. So it's always good to have a fire extinguisher on hand. We recommend having at least a 5-pound fire extinguisher, a 5-pound ABC fire extinguisher available just in case a fire breaks out.
Perfect. And I know a lot of the older homes here on the island have gas stoves. Do you have any tips that are specific to people who are cooking with gas stoves?
We do. Make sure you have a carbon monoxide smoke detector somewhere installed for fuel-fired equipment. The best location to install these is definitely the hallways.
Perfect. And I know it's really easy to forget when you're warming food and you've got all that stuff in the oven, but one of them is definitely just to make sure it's turned off and not leave it running.
Correct. You should never leave food unattended. This is the time where we have company, and a lot of company that's visiting to our residents, and we have a tendency to forget what we're doing. So number one thing right now, we should never leave food unattended.
Perfect. Do you have any other safety tips for our families that are cooking Thanksgiving meals for their loved ones?
We do. Pay attention to your clothing. Sometimes loose clothing can actually get close to the fire itself, which can cause a fire. And make sure you have mittens when you're touching a hot pot or anything like that. So protect your hands. So keep kids at least 3 feet away from the stove at all times.
That's a huge one. They love to help out in the kitchen, but it's definitely not safe.
It's definitely not safe. We recommend that find something for the kids to do, some type of activity to keep them busy away from the kitchen, because they like to help out at this time of year. You know, maybe baking the cookies or putting together a recipe that they learned. So that's very important.
Thank you so much, Gilbert. We really appreciate those tips.
All right, you're quite welcome, and anything that we can do, please contact the Galveston Fire Department at 409-797-3870.
Happy Thanksgiving, Gilbert.
Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
As a reminder, the Salvation Army will be serving a hot meal for anyone who needs it on Thanksgiving Day. They still also need volunteers to help serve that meal. The meal will be served from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Thursday at 601 51st Street at the Center of Hope. They are still looking for volunteers, and we would encourage anyone who wants to join to go by there on Thanksgiving Day. There's no reason to cross the causeway this Black Friday. Galveston has it all. From the boutiques downtown to the major retailers on the island, we want to encourage you all to shop local this holiday season. Spend Thanksgiving night with your families and shop all of the wonderful shops in Galveston on Friday, and celebrate Small Business Saturday downtown with our boutiques, artists, and street vendors at Art Walk on Saturday. Gifts from Galveston will be the ones to remember this holiday season. Last but not least, we want to let residents know of some great news. The contractors have worked with City Crews to reopen 69th Street and Seawall. It will be open to one-way traffic heading northbound from Seawall to Stewart Road. That's all we have for this week's Waves of Information. We want to wish each and every one of our families here in Galveston a happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours.